everyone. Today we're talking about an important topic, which is the Florida Nurse Practice Act. The purpose of the Florida Nurse Practice Act is it ensures that every nurse who is practicing in the state of Florida meets the minimum requirements to practice nursing safely. The Florida Nurse Practice Act is very important for every nurse, graduate nurse, student nurse to know. The Practice Act is what tells you what you can do and what you cannot do. So it is very, very important. Please take the time to find it for your state. This is the one for Florida, but each state's Practice Act is different. The Florida Nurse Practice Act for practical nurses, since I am a practical nurse, I will be mostly speaking to practical nurses, but you will notice that the difference between a practical nurse and a registered nurse is not much. It states, practice of practical nursing includes the administration of treatments and medications in the care of the ill, injured, or infirm, the promotion of wellness, maintenance of health, and prevention of illness of others under the direction of a registered nurse, a licensed physician, a licensed osteopathic physician, a licensed pediatric physician, or a licensed dentist, and the teaching of general principles of health and wellness to the public and to students other than nursing students. Now let's explore that a little further. It says that a practical nurse can administer treatments and medications. So, a practical nurse can give medications and treatments, whether it be IV, whether it be intramuscular, whether it be intradermal, whether it be by mouth, whether it be by G-tube and G-tube. A practical nurse does administer medication. As to treatments, they're talking about like nebulizer treatments, any other treatments that a doctor prescribes. Nurses cannot prescribe. A nurse practitioner can prescribe. However, an RN cannot prescribe. A practical nurse cannot prescribe. The order has to come from a doctor. So, if a patient asks of you to do something that is outside of your scope of practice, please say no. It is outside my scope of practice. Please discuss it with your doctor. So, nurses administer treatments and medication in the care of the ill, the injured, or the infirm. Now, nurses also promote wellness and maintenance of health and prevention of illness. So, let's say there is a wellness fair. A nurse can participate, can promote wellness, and can participate in maintenance of health and preventions. Nurses do provide flu shots. That's a prevention method. Nurses work in the health department, where they work on prevention of STDs and they work with public health. So long as you are within your scope of practice, your license is okay, is good to go. Now, if we go further down, after it says licensed dentist, and it says, and the teaching of general principles of health and wellness to the public and to students other than nursing students. So, a practical nurse cannot teach nursing students. However, a practical nurse can teach the general public. The next bullet says, a practical nurse is responsible and accountable for making decisions that are based upon the individual's education, preparation, and experience in nursing. So, what that basically says is, as practical nurses, we know what we can do. Okay. Sometimes you're working at the hospital at night, you don't have access to the doctor, and an emergency situation happens. You have to make the best decision for your patient. And that decision will be based on your education and your experience in nursing. In home care, this happens a lot because in home care, the nurse does everything and is mainly the one that makes the decisions. So when encountering an emergency situation, the practical nurse sometimes has to stabilize the situation before reaching out to the supervisor or to the doctor for additional orders. However, whatever it is that the nurse uses to stabilize the patient, it either has to be using PRN orders from the doctor, from a physician. If not, if we do not have any PRN orders and we cannot get any doctor, then we call 911 and have the patient transported to the hospital to be stabilized. But that comes in time. With the more you work with the patient, the more you work with medications, the more you work in nursing, the more you develop skills. You will find out that you learn more working as a nurse than what you learned in nursing school. That's not necessarily a bad thing. You will also find out that all the classes that you took, including that chemistry class that I did not like personally, that comes in handy a lot of the times. Now, in the state of Florida now participates in a compact multi-state license, which means that a nurse who has a compact multi-state license from the state of Florida, whether it be a licensed practical nurse or a registered nurse, he or she can work in any other state that is part of the compact states. The Enhanced Nurse Licensure Compact was implemented on January 19, 2018, and it started with only 19 states. And now, in 2020, there are 23 states participating in the compact states. Also, there are other states who are still in the eligibility process. So, I believe that is an excellent thing. So, nurses are not limited to work in only one place, especially for travel nurses. If you had an assignment in Idaho and you are from Texas and you had to go to Idaho, you had to apply for a nursing license and wait for it, and then next time you have an assignment in New York, now you have to apply for a New York license. So it's this way you have one license and you work in multiple states, which I think is phenomenal. Now, the Florida Board of Nursing is the regulating and the governing body for nurses. The Florida Board of Nursing is the one that assigns licenses and assigns disciplinary actions for licenses and holds hearings for nurses who have their license revoked or otherwise. Their website is floridanursing.gov. Their phone number is 850-488-0595. And you can subscribe to their newsletter. I find it to be helpful. As always, thank you for watching the video. I hope you enjoyed it and you found it informative. If you liked it, please click like and subscribe and share it with others. Thank you.